Good riddance. Harry stay at Frogmore Cottage for what may be the last time. Prince Harry stayed at Frogmore Cottage during his visit for the phone hacking lawsuit claim against the Daily Mail after being asked to move out of the home. It is understood the Duke of Sussex stayed at the Windsor property before making his surprise appearance at the Royal Courts of Justice last week. The Duke arrived in the UK last weekend and is thought to have flown back on Thursday night. He appeared in court on Monday, Tuesday and Thursday and is thought likely to have also used the visit to sort out the couple's belongings and work out what needs to be shipped to the US ahead of vacating the property. Harry did not see the King before his state visit to Germany as he was at Highgrove, a 90-minute drive from Frogmore, and was said to be too busy. It was the first time the 38-year-old Duke had returned to the UK since his father told him he would be asked to leave the property. The King had asked the Sussexes to vacate the 5-bedroom Georgian property around the time the Duke's memoir, Spare, was published in the new year. Both the Duke and Duchess of Sussex were said to have been disappointed by the decision to offer the 5-bedroom Georgian property, a cottage they were said to have made their home, to the Duke of York. The couple have been given until just after the coronation to vacate the home, although they have not yet confirmed whether they will attend the May 6 ceremony. At the time, a friend of the Sussexes suggested the decision to move them out of Frogmore had not been welcomed by the couple. They are understood to view the cottage as the only place left that's safe for them and their children in the UK. The only place that's safe? Apart from shoving through random crowds of sightseers, tourists and journalists outside the court twice every day. And taking taxis. And lying about not being safe. Funny how as soon as he can win Dosh, his safety isn't quite so unsafe. The Gloucesters, who have given many years of service, had to give up their home of donkey's years for Sussexes. We spent £2 million updating it and then her ladyship turned it down. People forget that. Without Frogmore, Harry's personal money will become subject to California tax law, the same tax code that all millionaires, Jim Carrey, Mark Wahlberg, are fleeing. He want like that. He also want like the new mansion tax payable on sale. The Sussexes were given the Crown estate property by Queen Elizabeth II when they married in 2018. But their £2.4 million renovations caused an outcry and they eventually repaid the cost. The late Queen gifted the annual lease to the Sussex duo under their pretext they would become working royals. The rolling annual lease is up for renewal again this year. They do not even visit sufficiently often to warrant paying to renew their own lease and the King has no viable reason to pay it for them either. How they have milked this eviction for their own lucrative victimhood. They opted to renew the lease last March, ensuring they would have a private place to stay when in the UK, and most recently spent time there last September when they spent 2 weeks in the UK following the late Queen's death. The Prince arrived at the High Court in London on Monday, January 27, as one of a number of claimants who allege they were victims of phone hacking. Sir Elton John, Baroness Doreen Lawrence, model Elizabeth Hurley and actress Sadie Frost are among the group making the allegations. He is such a hypocrite, claiming phone hacking so many years ago then supposedly writing his memoir of life as a spare, detailing all sorts of sordid details. Wouldn't want him as a member of my family, what a disgrace. Glad he shuffled off back to US. Hope he stays there with his silly wife. Associated Newspapers, which publishes the Daily Mail, The Mail on Sunday, Mail Online and Metro, has said it, utterly and unambiguously, denies the unsubstantiated and highly defamatory claims, based on no credible evidence. A spokesperson for the Duke declined to comment. In the world of the British monarchy, there are certain privileges reserved for those who work hard to uphold the family's traditions and values. But for some, it seems those privileges are nothing more than a golden ticket to financial gain and public sympathy. Enter Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, who were gifted a Crown estate property by none other than Queen Elizabeth II herself upon their marriage in 2018. At the time, it was seen as a gracious gesture from the Queen, who wanted to show her support for the young couple. However, things soon took a turn for the worse when it was revealed that the couple had spent a whopping £2.4 million on renovations to the property, causing outrage among the public. While they eventually repaid the cost of the renovations, it was clear that they had misjudged the public's perception of their lavish spending. But that didn't stop them from continuing to milk their position as working royals for all it was worth. The annual lease of the Crown Estate property is up for renewal again this year, and it seems the Sussexes are in no rush to renew it themselves. They hardly even visit the property, and yet they seem to think they have a right to it. It's a classic case of entitled behavior from those who believe they are above the rules. But it's not just their questionable use of the Crown Estate property that has people talking. Prince Harry recently arrived at the High Court in London to join a group of claimants alleging they were victims of phone hacking. It's a move that has many scratching their heads, considering that he had supposedly written a memoir detailing all sorts of sordid details of his life as a spare. It's hard to take Prince Harry seriously as a victim of phone hacking when he's clearly not above airing his dirty laundry in public. He's just another hypocrite looking for sympathy where there is none to be found. Frankly, it's a disgrace, and it's no wonder that many people are glad he's shuffled off back to the US with his silly wife. It's no secret that Harry and Meghan Markle have caused quite a stir since their royal exit. They were gifted the Crown Estate property by Queen Elizabeth II when they tied the knot in 2018. But it wasn't long before their extravagant £2.4 million renovations raised eyebrows, and they eventually had to repay the cost. The late Queen gave the Sussex duo the annual lease under the pretense that they would become working royals. However, it's evident that they don't even visit the property often enough to warrant paying for the renewal themselves. Now, as the rolling annual lease is up for renewal once again, they seem to be milking their eviction for their own lucrative victimhood. Last March, the couple opted to renew the lease to ensure they had a private place to stay whenever they were in the UK. Most recently, they spent time at the property last September following the late Queen's death. But that's not all that's been keeping Harry busy. The prince was among a number of claimants who alleged they were victims of phone hacking. The list of those making the allegations includes Sir Elton John, Baroness Doreen Lawrence, model Elizabeth Hurley, and actress Sadie Frost. What a hypocrite. He's out there claiming phone hacking, yet supposedly writing his memoir of life as a spare detailing all sorts of sordid details. I wouldn't want him as a member of my family. What a disgrace. It's good to see that he's shuffled off back to the US, and I hope he stays there with his silly wife. Associated Newspapers, which publishes the Daily Mail, the Mail on Sunday, Mail Online, and Metro, have denied the allegations, stating that they are utterly and unambiguously unsubstantiated and highly defamatory claims based on no credible evidence. Meanwhile, the Duke's spokesperson declined to comment. In the end, it's clear that Harry is a loathsome individual who can't be trusted. It's time we all move on from this sideshow and focus on more important matters. Thank you for your time, and I will see you guys on the next video.